You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
Everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Couch Potatoes. I'm Alex.
This is Cap.
Morrison.
And as you saw from the title, we're digging back into our Always Sunny retrospective. That's right, we had to hang up the King of the Hill, but we're right back at it with probably one of my favorite live action shows, at least.
Yeah, and we're diving into season 4, where if folks have watched like seasons 1 through 3 already, everybody's very familiar with the characters and their tics and everything too. So, and they kind of play on everybody's personality traits, even on one particular episode in this season where they kind of give everyone a fantasy role.
Yeah.
As far as like the origin story of a Liberty Bell crack story that the gang's trying to pitch to historians, but we'll get to that later on as we cover this season.
Oh yeah, but we might as well go ahead and start with episode 1. And honestly, before we even get there, I feel like season 4 is really where they kind of hit their stride, where it's like all the characters were fully formed. Mm-hmm. They were starting to kind of work on a bit more of the wackier traits because we've already got character building, so now we know the characters, so they're kind of allowed to be a little wackier than they were before. Right. If that makes any sense.
It's kind of like what happened happens with any sitcom, whether it's The Simpsons or Seinfeld, where like if it sticks around long enough, you not only does the audience get more familiar with the characters, but the writers kind of get to have more fun with adding more to the dimensions of the characters that people are already familiar with, whether they're better or worse.
Mm-hmm. And
worse.
Yeah, very worse in this case.
And they kick it right off with episode 1, Mac and Dennis, Manhunters, where Charlie and Dee freak out and become cannibals after Frank tells them that the meat they stole from him was human meat. Yeah. Meanwhile, Mac and Dennis go after the most dangerous prey of all, man, by hunting cricket.
Yeah. So yeah, Frank's like, I forget what Dennis and Charlie did to piss Frank off, but Frank's just like, they eat Frank's meat. Yep. And Frank is like, fuck you guys, that's human meat, and did that to really plant that seed in their heads to just have that fuck with them the rest of the episode.
But it really affected Charlie and Dee the most.
Is it succulent or flavorful?
Yes. And they go to like in the entire episode they're fighting what they think is a craving for human meat, because they're like, this is so good, but where do we go? Do we go and find more human meat?
I don't know, human meat. And and then Mac and Dennis they go running off and basically just like stalk cricket the entire fucking episode,
because Dennis and Mac are like, you listen in on the conversation, they're like, what if and they're like, what would be like the I think they just see cricket walking around, they're like, what would be like the most fun human to hunt, and they're just like, cricket. And that becomes a whole like cat and mouse thing throughout the whole episode too, and cricket winds up getting the leg up on him every time too.
Yeah. Cricket lives on the streets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cricket spent some time out there now.
Yeah, he knows what the streets are like.
I think one of my favorite moments is when Dee and Charlie go to like the funeral home. Oh yeah, to see if they can, with like a 6-pack of beer and the
all you can eat buffet.
And then the guy that runs the funeral home is just like, so about 5 minutes, but if you give me an extra $20, I'll leave you alone with them for like 10. Like they're like, wait, no, we're not gonna have sex with the corpses.
We just want to eat them.
They're like, wait a minute, you're not gonna have sex with the corpses?
Yeah, no, it's like, again, in this universe, like everyone is just assumed to be the absolute worst person ever.
It is Philadelphia.
Well, yeah, there you
go. And then Cricket gets the leg up on Mac and Dennis, and that's kind of like how that episode kind of rounds up and everything too. Yeah,
because the Frank basically fucking with them basically just wraps up with, I was kidding, and then they're like, oh, what the fuck, and stupid jokes after that. Honestly, probably my favorite episode of the entire season is this next one, which is the gang solves the gas crisis.
Yeah.
In which they get the idea of buying up a bunch of gas and then reselling it.
Yes.
And my favorite joke in that entire episode is they've got like these big barrels of gasoline and like this hand painted sign, gas for a certain price. And they're like, how do you know how much gas you're giving them? And Charlie's like, well, I'll count it. They're like, he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, while I'm pouring it in, I'll count it. Be like, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Then he sticks the nozzle in his mouth and he like spits it out in like some other containers.
They're trying to
too.
siphon it.
Yes.
And it's like he winds up like swallowing like half of it as he's like trying to siphon it out. Dude, I don't think this is working. I'm like drinking a lot of. He's like, keep doing it, man. It's gonna be fine.
And like throughout the entire series, they keep building Charlie up as this indestructible, just like fucking mess of a human.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
like
he's
his
accidentally invincible.
Accidentally has the best immune system on the planet.
Yeah. Well, he eats fucking chocolate peanut butter and cheese sandwiches.
Off the floor in his like dirty ass apartment. And then the beginning of it, they're trying to like I forget what they're pitching to. They're trying to get loans from a bank or something like that revolve around barrel.
Because they're
too.
trying to just get cash for something, and they're like, this is the quickest way to flip it around. And
They have the charts.
Yes, we watched a little compilation episode right before we started this, and it just reminded me of that scene of all three of them eventually just like getting annoyed with each other and just being like, okay, look, just taking off all their shirts and be like, which of the three of us do you want to fuck?
Yeah, basically.
Which of us do you want to take back in the back?
Yeah.
And fuck you.
And then there's like the whole side plot where they try to put make Bruce the scapegoat as a terrorist.
Yeah.
To try to get, because there's still that continuing storyline of Dennis and Dee trying to get their inheritance money back from Barbara, their deceased mother. Because Bruce has inherited all of them, they're still trying to scam that away.
Yeah,
and I think isn't this the one where Mac wears like the turban and everybody thinks he's a terrorist too at the very end of it.
He's got like duct tape and shit around it.
Yeah,
and again, it's crazy because it's like, I don't know. It always feels weird to say this kind of stuff, but it's like I really feel like shows couldn't get away with that shit today.
No, as we find out on like the very next episode of the season, you can't where they try to make a billboard for Patty's Pub. There's a lot of moments on that episode that you're not going to see on like a Hulu re-airing or anything like that.
No, was that the episode that was pulled?
Yeah, because I'm seeing America's Top Patty's Billboard Model Contest, and I remember like specific beats of it. And when I was doing the rewatch of it, I didn't notice it at first, but then watching that recap that we saw on YouTube, I'm like, oh, they didn't play this one. And I think it's only for one specific part too in episode 3 where Dee's trying to do like the Rosie Perez bit in the park where she's like putting on like a brown makeup on her face to look Latina and puts like some padding on her butt and does like the whole like nasally
how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? Like really bad accent too.
You know what? I think you may have just missed it because I actually just pulled up an article from August 15th, 2021, this year, said America's Next Top Patty's Billboard Model Contest was one of 5 It's Always Sunny Philadelphia episodes pulled from streaming in June 2020 due to their usage of blackface, brownface, and or yellowface is now back on Hulu. So they must have just added it back.
Well, I guess I'm watching it tonight too.
Meanwhile, Ken Jeong on Community, they banned his episode where he painted his face the literal color black with white hair to play a dwarf magician, and they said that was racist.
Wow.
Ken Jeong is apparently a racist now.
Lovely.
That's great. And it's one of the best episodes of that show. If you get a chance to watch it, is Community.
I used to love Community.
Yeah, but the D&D episode, that's the one they pulled.
Shit, really?
Yeah, because Ken Jeong remember, he's like, I am a Brutalitops, the magician.
But the episode 3 of this season there's a lot of great moments where they actually try to put a model image on the billboard. And
because Frank is holding auditions, and like of course Mac is trying to get Dennis is trying
really hard to get on it too, to where it's like Dennis and a bunch of like buff shirtless dudes all trying to look like barn animals.
Well, and it's because they split them into basically the way a lot of these episodes wind up shaking down sometimes too is the teams will get split up.
Yeah.
So it wound up being like Dennis and Frank doing the model thing, while Dee and Charlie run off, and they're deciding to make a viral video for Patty's Pub because they feel like that's going to bring in more attention than the billboard. Yeah. So like Charlie's trying to reincorporate Green Man. But then what Dee's doing is what kind of caused this episode to get pulled for a little while. But while watching the recap, it's a shame it did, because it honestly is funny. And them like, I don't know, this show is a good example of this. At what point does racial humor become hurtful? Because when
malice is intended.
Exactly. Yeah. So I look at that scene and I don't look at the show using racial differences in a malice way. In fact, it's showing the ignorance of the white person on the show trying to emulate that poorly to the group, and they're like, what the fuck? Yeah. So it's almost like acknowledgement with the we know this character is doing bad, but laugh at it kind of thing.
Me and you had talked about it. It's all about context of the whole thing.
Yes.
So not to get involved in something else, but we know these characters are terrible people.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was about to bring that up.
They're not good people. Charlie is probably the best person, but even he is fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay? He's probably patient fucking zero for Corona 21. Okay? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is a dumbass.
Yeah.
He's like just we talked about earlier, how it's like about how it probably has like the biggest, like strongest immune system out of anybody in the group too. Do y'all remember how the episode ends? Like what the image on the billboard winds up becoming?
I honestly don't. Watching that recap kind of reminded me of a couple little small beats. Like I remembered, because rewatching these, I remembered Green Man being a lot more predominant in this season, and then rewatching it and going, I thought we had more Green Man after the football episode. So seeing that recap reminded me of a couple little scenes, but no, I don't remember the ending of it.
That's what happens when with Charlie too. Charlie's like, let's put Green Man on a billboard. Green Man can do anything, and everybody's like, nobody wants fucking Green Man, Charlie. But then Green Man shows up and kicks Dennis in the nuts for a bit that Dee and Dennis put together. But with the billboard, it winds up just being Frank just in between two sets of boobs.
I mean, probably the best option they could have come up with.
Yes.
But like the whole jokes of the show, this is why I hate when they pull old stuff, because you're not getting the context of what's going on.
Right.
Take a show like All in the Family. Okay, Archie Bunker's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Who develops as a character, who learns as a character throughout the show. Okay?
Yeah.
So we don't get rid of a show like that because there's progression.
Right.
There are people out there who want to cancel shows because they are too lazy to see the context of the whole thing and not give it a chance to progress like a society would.
So even though like the character of Archie Bunker is prone to saying, is
a bigoted asshole.
Exactly. Homophobic and everything.
Yeah. And then Sammy Davis turns it up. So,
exactly. But that's kind of like what makes that dynamic great. Like he's the foil for Archie Bunker.
But
and
he's also a guiding light of the old guard. You know what I'm saying? Like Andy Griffith, was kind of that same way. All right, this is an older way of thinking that still has value. Okay, that was the great thing about Andy Griffith was it was a snowball.
Yeah,
or what do you call it? A snow globe town. There's nothing outside.
It's so wholesome.
It's too wholesome.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
It's still an utterly watchable show.
But now take another show that does come off as racist, or like too conservative, and I mean conservative, I mean regressive. Like you have progressive, but there are conservative shows now that are just so far regressive, they want to take two steps back.
And people have said that about, like, say, Tim Allen's latest sitcoms and shit like that. I've never seen it, so I can't give a proper analysis of it. But that's what I've read about.
It's a weird show. I miss Home Improvement, but
yeah.
But there's no progress in that show. He's not making any headway.
It's all kind of like placating to a certain fan audience.
That is very demographic on that one.
Yeah.
Like, which is kind of odd considering they like when you make a show, you want the broadest demographic you can get. You know, you want males 13 to 45. You want women 16 to 20 something. You're hitting a certain number.
Exactly.
That's who you want to hit, and it just blows me away when some people don't realize they're not part of a fucking demographic. Like, I watch horror movies because fucking white dudes between 13 and 40 love watching people getting murdered. But if you're, a woman who's 75 years old, this movie ain't for you.
No.
Mm-hmm. They make movies for you. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't realize you're not part of a demographic, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Like, I'll make that comment about, like TV shows or like any arts where I realize that I'm not in that demographic and people will ask me, why aren't you into such and such? I was like, well, that wasn't for me,
Yeah. It's like, we're not in the demographic of a show Queer as Folk or something like that. That's not for us.
Right.
Okay? Now, we could watch it, but that's it. But it's not for us. It's not targeted for you. And I think Always Sunny, it
There we
targets...
go. Now, I was wondering where we were going with this. We were going down a rabbit trail.
No,
Seriously.
This thing about Always Sunny, it targets everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's something everybody can enjoy about
like
the
South
show.
Park.
Yeah. Everybody can enjoy the fucked up things these guys do. Mm-hmm. Especially hunting people. Just think about that. Like,
Well, but that's not even part of the episode. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Right.
We were doing good there, Chris. Thank you.
Well, like with the like episode 4, it's all about relationships.
Yes, but actually, before we even get that far in, I forgot to mention something. One of the other reasons Gang Saul's Gas Crisis is my favorite, I had to look it up, because I was skimming the rest of the episodes, and I'm like, I don't know where else this would have fit. And I found out it was from that episode. That's where we get the classic, I'm wild card, bitches!
oh, God, I hate that shit.
You hate that one?
It's just like, it could throw the whole story off.
Yeah.
When he's just like, Charlie Day, at some point...
It's gonna
fuck it up.
pull the wild card.
But that was the debut of Wild Card.
Yeah. When they're riding around that van with all the tinted windows.
Well, it's because they were trying to sell the gas door to door at that point.
Yeah.
And he had cut the wire. Wild card, bitches! Because they're like, I'm the brains, I'm the brawn.
Yeah.
And this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And Charlie didn't like the fact that he was just like there.
Yeah, you're
He's
just
like, well, I'm the
Charlie.
wild card. No.
But he's always been the wild card, which
Yeah.
is great.
It's like Dennis is
It
the
works out.
brains, Mac is the brawn,
Yeah.
Charlie's the wild card. Anytime, and when D would try to say, I'm the such and such, they'd be like, shut the fuck up, D.
Yeah, she just couldn't do it.
is sweet.
Yes. But yes, like you were saying, Cap, episode 4, Mac banging the waitress. Charlie learns that the waitress now has a boyfriend and enlists his badass best friend's Mac's help to find, it's what it says.
Yeah.
Help to find out who can find out who it is so he can destroy the relationship.
So even the writing of the episode descriptions, it's all like they're all knowledgeable of every of the characters now. We can predict.
Oh yeah. Jealous of Mac and Charlie's relationship, Dennis tries to convince Charlie that Mac is double crossing him by having Charlie listen in on them banging, in which they're just literally making noises.
Right.
But they're in for a shock when they hear it. Through a series of lies, misunderstandings, confessions, and revelations, it comes out the waitress and Mac both have ulterior motives for getting together. Frank and Dee aren't featured in this episode.
Yeah, it's weird that we don't that I forget about that too. You won't even think about that because usually we see the ensemble, at various points, like you talk about, where everybody's just kind of split off into like their own little groups. Like everybody has their own little subplot.
This episode was very much focused on Mac, Charlie, and the waitress.
Yeah, a little love triangle that's going on there.
Wasn't that the end of it where you see? Wasn't that the one where Charlie's walking out of? He's like he wants to fucking Dennis's mom or something like that to get back at him.
I think that was the Mac bangs Dennis, or it was the one where Mac bangs Dennis's mom.
Okay, because I thought there was another one where Charlie was walking out of a house. And they were like, what's going on? They're like, what? And it was like that quick little thing. And that was like, that's me getting you back.
That's when all of the... I think that was the Mac bangs Dennis's mom, because that was when they were like trying to pin everybody against each other.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I remember that episode more. I don't remember this one as much.
Yeah, this is one of the more forgettable ones for me in this season, too.
You You remember that one much, do you at all, Chris?
No, because it kind of molds with that other one you're talking about.
I know, because
everybody's trying to fuck each other's mom.
Yeah, because I remember also D being part of that one.
Because Sweet D has the waitress in the car, and Dennis is hitting on Mac's mom.
Yes.
And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm conflating the two. Yeah, this one is barely memorable.
See, exactly, because that's a better episode, because they're all like at each other's throats, like trying to like, get back at each other. Because again, they're all terrible fucking people.
Mm-hmm. And then we might as well talk about the next two back to back.
These are two of my favorites.
Mac and Charlie Die, part 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're trying to kill Mac and Charlie are trying to fake their deaths to hide from Mac's dad,
who's getting out of prison, who they screwed over again.
Yeah. Exactly. And then like Mac's dad is I think it was I forget, it was the last season where he said, when I get out, I'm gonna kill you both. Yeah. I love the actor that plays Mac's dad so much, where he just talks like this.
Oh, I know. It's that
all
good
bug-eyed and everything.
That good dead stare. I don't know. I've never seen him in anything else.
I don't either. I'm gonna look that up. Who plays Mac's dad?
Yeah. But yeah, and then one of the side plots is when they figure out that there's a glory hole in the bathroom, and Dennis could not be happier to find that revelation.
Oh yeah, that becomes the whole that's the Frank D and Dennis side plot of the episode too, and they try to like justify all the reasons for it, where it's what was it that Frank says, it's like, you could that could be a woman on the other side or whatever.
Frank, your likelihoods of that are very slim.
He's like, what do I care? I'm just going to imagine it's a woman. Hey, the guy on the other side can do the same thing with a dick in his mouth.
And that's why I love this show. It isn't even like the overarching story of the episode sometimes. It's those quick little jokes they throw in like that, and the timing. All of it is just so fucking good.
Well, most of it's improv. They have certain scripted moments, but most of it is improv.
Oh, yeah.
Because like the bloopers are just like, what are you trying to say, Dennis? And he's just like, I'm trying to call her a stupid bitch, but I can't because I keep looking at her and laughing, thinking she's a giant chicken person. Giant chicken woman.
And then Mac and Charlie they try to fake their deaths by Mac tries to wreck a car into the side of the building.
Not just a car, Sweet D's car.
Sweet D's, yes.
Her 97 Dodge Neon.
Yeah, and then they
you can't buy a new 97 Dodge Neon. You get a used one, but you can't get a new one.
You can go on The Price is Right and win a 2017 Honda.
And Mac was like legit injured as a result.
Of course he is. He ran into a brick wall.
Yes.
And probably like 30 miles an hour, it seemed like, by the time they picked up speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's done.
Like their whole game plan was like have it like set ablaze or whatever like that too, and then film it.
Yeah, they were gonna put like fake bodies in it. They were gonna have suicide notes, set the car on fire, wreck it. Like there was so many extra steps.
I love the videotape that they make for the rest of the gang too, where it's just like Mac and Charlie like holding on to each other's hands, like they're with Bon Jovi in the background. Shut down. And then it cuts off, and then the rest of the gang's just like, What's happening? Not just unfazed.
Then part 2 essentially is just them like living on the run and just pretending that they're still dead, and like they're hiding on the roof or some shit.
Yeah, they're hiding on the roof, like not like barely on the run, just hiding on the roof or in the vents or whatever, and then they get called out afterwards, going like, we could hear you loud and clear
upstairs. You're talking at like normal volume.
Well, the building's only like 2 stories tall. If you're walking toward that building, two blocks away on a level area, you could see like 2 guys on the fucking roof.
Oh yeah, I mean, flashback a season or 2 when the gang gets held hostage.
I was
gonna say, yeah, the McBoyle brothers. He's like holding on to him.
Oh, okay, it's just like 5 feet.
No, it just lands on his face. Like, you okay? Yeah, that was nothing.
I might have bruised my heel a little, but
that's still one of the best meme formats.
Yes.
I got you, brother. No, I don't think so.
And then there's the part where like the glory hole gets implemented, and then like you see, I think it's Dennis is like taking a piss, and then he sees like a dick shadow come in the fucking bathroom. He's just like, hey, and he goes like, no, I don't swing that way, bro. Oh, okay. Dick shadow goes away.
I think it was meant to be Frank though, like when you listen to the voice.
Yeah, or it's like Frank putting on a voice.
Yeah, and then I think after that he got freaked out, and that's when he like boarded it up. Because I remember they boarded it up shortly after. He's like, no, we can't have a glory hole anymore. It's too weird. It's too much.
Yeah. Like Dennis will just like fold immediately, no matter like how erotic he thinks an idea is. He'll just like, or like it's like the first season where like where they were turning Patty's Pub into a gay bar.
Yeah.
And he just folded on that immediately when it got uncomfortable for him, where he thought he got raped.
It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't like a scenario comfortable. It was they drugged him and made him think he was raped.
Yeah, true.
Their pranks,
You got a tight ass, boy.
How that ass feel?
their pranks are cruel.
Yes.
Granted, they think they've eaten people. They're dumbasses.
Yeah, it just escalates on this season.
Oh yeah.
And then the next episode,
Yes.
we get a whodunit scenario.
The whodunit of who pooped the bed. Frank and Charlie, because at this point, Frank and Charlie are living together. So we've missed an episode at some point of them going through the toe knife and everything else. So we've missed that episode at some point of us discussing how much Frank and Charlie, even though how diametrically opposed they seem, their day-to-day living is almost parallel. Like they match up in that regard, but they don't match up in any other way.
Because there was that whole scare of where they thought Frank was Charlie's dad for a minute too, and there was, because of those parallels, it kind of made sense up to a point too.
And but yeah, I remember this one is someone shat in Frank and Charlie's bed, and Mac and Dennis join them to try to catch the culprit. Meanwhile, Dee takes the waitress to
And Artemis.
and Artemis on a Sex in the City style night out.
Oh yeah, Dee's like all in a Sex in the City mode or whatever.
And see, I forgot about Artemis. That was the really brash girl that was trying to date Frank for a minute, wasn't it?
She was in like Dee's acting classes, but like she takes like the acting thing like super serious and everything too. It's like, I'm a performance artist, and like, of course, Artemis is all about, a Sex in the City style like scenario or whatever. And also, the waitress is trying to be sober at this point too, so she's quitting drinking. And Dee's just like, you have to drink with us. You have to be shit faced with us. It's Sex in the City.
Do it, bitch.
And somehow the waitress just buckles for it, and she goes like, I got nothing to do this night anyway, so why the fuck not? And then it gets to a point where like the waitress is just fucked up, makes an ass of herself, ruins the entire experience for Dee, and of course Artemis is just like hitting on like every waiter that's in the restaurant. The waiters are just like, no.
And not really much happened on the story on the who pooped the bed. It was more or less just hijinks and shenanigans and a bunch of finger pointing. But who did it in the end? Wasn't it Frank?
I think so.
And
yeah.
he was saying and it was like he almost used like a child's reason. He's like, I was doing it for attention.
Yeah, something dumb like that.
Because honestly, I think it wrapped into something like, because if you look at all the episodes so far, like it's been very centric on the original cast. Like Frank hadn't had much to do, and I think it came from like, you guys are always running off and doing something. There's not been anything that revolves around me. I just wanted some attention. I could be wrong, but I feel like that was like the overall narrative of like why he pooped the bed.
Want to be part of the gang.
Yeah.
That's what gets me about these guys. They always they're all a gang.
Yeah.
All together, there's 5 but somehow they all feel alienated at some point. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? It's always a mashup of 2 going off this way, 3 going off the other.
Yep.
They rarely have adventures by themselves. I don't think I've ever seen one by themselves.
No, there's never a solo.
Every so often, Dennis. You'll get a little bit of a solo Dennis story. That's about it.
Actually, the next episode is kind of a very Dennis-centric episode.
The one after that. Because next up would be Patty's Pub, worst bar in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But before we get to that one, though, I think you're right, though, Chris. You really don't see a lot of the characters outside of the group.
It ruins the dynamic of the show if they try to do that. Because, even if, little one-offs, like I said, Dennis, he still has interaction and reveals his purpose to someone in the group. And they
the implication.
Yeah.
Yes.
They somehow become accessories after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like any TV show where there's an ensemble, whether it's Seinfeld or The Simpsons or anything like that. It's hard to write a solo episode for anybody after a minute when they're, when the ensemble relies on the group dynamic or at least another character in that dynamic.
Yeah. The only show I know that does that is Friends.
See, I was never a Friends guy.
They have a lot of one-offs.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I didn't watch as much Friends as I did Seinfeld. But no, Patty's Pub, worst bar in Philadelphia. The gang
spiders in the veins.
Oh yeah.
gang kidnaps a newspaper critic who is dubbed Patty's Pub, worst bar in Philadelphia. But they also kidnapped the critic's neighbor and pet cat.
I forgot about
Frank
the cat.
is not featured in this episode.
Yeah.
We'll kidnap the block.
Now, I always like these episodes where, and it almost shows the strong storytelling they have, where you only get really one location throughout the whole episode.
It's like Cheers.
Yeah, it's like they really don't navigate away from the bar much in this episode. Most of the entire episode is built around the bar. And I love those ones where it's like they're in, and that's another reason why I like the gang gets kidnapped. They never leave the bar.
It's almost like the bar is a character in itself.
It absolutely is. I mean, they sell Patty's Pub merch,
Yep.
you know? So it's like, I feel the bar is one. I don't think, if Always Sunny were to debut with the next season with a big old fire to Patty's Pub, and they had to relocate and they couldn't do the, TV sitcom rewind, oh, we got the building back and it's not as bad as we thought, that kind of thing. If it just burned the fuck down and they had to go somewhere else, I don't think the show would be the same.
That's kind of like, well, that's happened with TV shows like Archer, where the organization they work for, ISIS. Yeah, you can't
Talk about some bad timing on that one. Right as that show starts getting big, all of a sudden fucking terrorists pop up with the same goddamn name.
I like how they address it in that one, though.
Yeah.
He's like, we're changing the name. Why? You know why.
Exactly.
Yeah, they never said it.
But like the writers changed that show because they got tired of writing spy fiction. That was the whole point of that, because the storytellers were like, they paid us to keep writing, but they didn't give us, a reason to keep writing this. So we asked if we could do multiple environments, and that's when they did the whole Christian Slater thing, and then that's when they do
and then the fantasy,
the fantasy ones,
stuff,
like
and
the 1940s, the 50s, and 30s, and shit like that.
yeah, but they did that for like 2 or 3 seasons, and
Those are fun.
I don't know. I just it's the whole thing where it kind of takes away from the series, about like kind of like what we're talking about with Always Sunny, where like you take one thing like an overarching identity that's associated with the show, and it changes everything for better or worse.
I like when he was like had amnesia and was Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Yes,
Yes.
that's my favorite.
Bobby.
We'll eventually do an Archer retrospective. Maybe that'll be the next series we tackle. That way we could go down the dream sequences and rate the different dream seasons.
You're gonna make me rewatch those.
You've already been rewatching it. You started rewatching that right after. Actually, you're watching that in between King of the Hill, because I'd be
I
upstairs
was.
and I'd hear like the King of the Hill intro like 3 or 4 times in the row, and all of a sudden, most annoying fucking theme song ever.
Yeah,
Only because
Just
it's
one note.
It's that single trumpet, right? And it just fucking blares in that mix. It's just like, god damn. Anyway, back to Always Sunny. But no, I really like this one because, again, it's just a whole bunch of hijinks of them like torturing this poor fucking reviewer.
You're gonna make us the best bar in Philadelphia. Say it.
And actually talking about Archer and Bob's Burgers, it reminds me of the Bob's Burgers episode where he kidnaps the food critic with a bunch of his friends, and they're like, why did you not like our food?
Yeah.
Eat our food and like it.
I don't think I've ever read a review about a restaurant. Ever. Like,
Ooh, good points.
Not a professional review. No, not like a food blogger.
I've never read like a Yelp review. I've never yet read like a critic's view or even a comment on like a restaurant's tag. Or
Yeah, because normally we're just like, hey, we ask a friend, hey, how's this place? Oh, it's pretty good. Or, nah, or this is the shit. Go try it out.
Yeah, so usually the replies we'll get.
Yeah.
That runs a gambit.
Basically. So if you want to know about a restaurant, ask a friend.
But no, I'll check Google Maps every so often. Like if I'm in a new town and like I'm thinking about like, oh, that place looks pretty good, I'll look it up just to see what the overall rating is. I don't go and read reviews, but like if it's a place that like legit has like 2.5 stars on Google Maps, I'm probably not gonna fuck with it. You know,
like I don't care.
Right.
Hey, this is
I've been burned.
Jimmy Jam's fucking barbecue joint. It's got 1 star. Why? It's got people. There's people in the barbecue.
Well, no, I'm totally fine with that place. And most of the places that you're kind of describing like that, if you look it up, they've got good reviews. I've been burned way too many times by bad food, and then like looking it up later and seeing all the bad reviews, and I'm just like, I should have fucking checked there before I went. So no, I will do the cursory, like, is there at least 3 stars? All right, cool. Because it's like, again, I don't listen to fucking Karens and Joes and all that when it goes on.
What's that?
I go in blind every time.
My wallet doesn't allow me to go in blind every time. That's why I'm a creature of habit when I order food too, man. It's like, if I don't know about the place and I'm looking through the menu, I size it up because I know roughly how much those portion sizes are going to be for each thing or how much they could fuck it up. So I will like literally kind of browse and look at tables and shit. And 9 times out of 10, if it's somewhere I do not feel like they're going to do good, I will get cheese fries with bacon or chicken tenders, because I have found out you cannot fuck up either of those.
I was going to say it is
or
hard
it is
to fuck up.
extremely hard to fuck them up. I've had a horrible burger. I've had some horrible sandwiches. I've yet to have any bad chicken tenders, and it's hard to fuck up fries, cheese, and bacon. So it's like I'll order that shit if I don't know what I'm expecting. Now, second time, if I know it's going to be good, I'll get some different shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would you go to Patty's Pub?
Once.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they don't serve food. Yeah, why the fuck not? I'd hang out there. It'd be like, it's like the Milestone, just without the venue.
So we've been to quite a few Patty's
There'd
pubs.
still be a venue. Still a venue.
But yeah, just a whole bunch of nonsense on that episode. But yeah, episode 9 though, Dennis Reynolds, An Exotic Life. There you go, Cap.
Yeah, there it is. The solo Dennis episode where he wants to like put out his memoirs about all of his encounters.
Yes, he wants to publish an account of his sexual exploits and lands himself in a rehab facility with comedian Sinbad and Matchbox 20 frontman Rob Thomas. Meanwhile, Charlie and Dee try to walk in each other's
Exactly.
shoes.
I forget what led into that. Just like, walk a mile in my shoes, D, or whatever. And like D's just like, going with.
It got flipped because Dee kept throwing a whole bunch of extra shit on Charlie and then dubbing it Charlie work.
Yeah.
And she's like, you've only got to do a little bit of stuff. He's like, yeah, Dee, but you know what? It's really hard. It's really hard doing everything I do.
That's pretty good, Charlie.
And that's when they flipped it. He's like, why don't you do all the Charlie? She's like, fine, I'll do the Charlie work. And then he started role reversing it where he just started throwing a whole bunch of shit on and start acting like Dee and all this other crap.
No, I like the Dennis story a lot where he winds up in the fucking mental health facility and Sinbad is there and Rob Thomas is there, and it's implied that Sinbad and Rob Thomas are kind of figments of his imagination, like he's going crazy.
Yeah.
And like Sinbad's just like talking shit, and he goes like, Rob Thomas, sing a song. And Rob Thomas opens his mouth and goes, shut the fuck up, Rob. And it's like kind of that whole dynamic too, where like Rob Thomas is like the sidekick.
Sinbad, I don't know why he's not in more shows even, because he's got some great comedic timing.
It's like he's good at stand-up too. He's a great comedian.
I watched the movie he was in not long ago.
Oh yeah?
Coneheads.
Oh shit. Yeah, he kind of had his like film peak in like the 90s and just dropped off the face of the earth. Probably made his money and just became a
Did he
family
play
man.
a genie or some shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, wait, that was the whole thing with Shaq.
No, he played a genie in something.
But that was like a whole fucking Mandela effect. Well, that was Kazam, but that was like a whole like Mandela debate, Mandela effect
sure
debate too between
something.
Yeah, because I know Sinbad played a genie, and I know Shaq played a genie at around the same time.
Yeah, but it wasn't Kazam. It was something else.
I forget what it was called too.
My Genie or some shit.
Yeah, something along those lines. And then like the Dennis's stories are always like he reads them out loud, and it's just like the most poor, just like gross, like snuff writing ever. It's like, what is wrong with you, Dennis? But yeah, it's also the portrait of a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, he's a serial killer.
So I did some quick research on the Sinbad genie thing. So all I did was type in Sinbad genie in movie. Mm-hmm. And the top result, it says, we found Sinbad's genie movie. And it's uploaded by College Humor. So no, that wasn't actually a movie.
Oh, okay. Again,
So no, Sinbad was never a genie in any movie. According to so many of these, because that's exactly what Cap's talking about, the Mandela effect. He was never in it. And that's fucked me up too.
I think it's because of the pants he wears.
I was going to say, you can totally see it.
It has to. I totally get it.
He wears genie pants.
But that's why I even had to double check, because I'm just like, wait a minute. I feel like I've been down this road. So yeah, he has never been a genie in something. And the time he was, it was a College Humor video.
Yeah. In the next episode, I don't remember all that much because
Sweet D has a heart attack.
Yeah, this one's kind of like one of the lesser ones in this one for me, just because it's basically just a parody of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest after a minute with Frank, and it's also hilarious because Danny DeVito was in that fucking movie.
Yeah,
that was kind of like the humorous point of it too, like nice little callback.
Now, if I remember, yeah, Dee's hospitalized for a heart attack, but I feel like she spent most of the episode in the hospital because I feel like I remember the wrap-up scene, everyone being like surrounding her in the hospital bed, and then like she was pulling so much pity, but then it like unraveled by the end. I
think so. When I was watching this season, this must have been a day where we were recording some podcasts, and it was like late at night, and I was like kind of like zonking out a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but that's probably another reason why it's one of the more least memorable for me. That, and I don't think this one was really syndicated all that much when they were doing reruns on Comedy Central.
No, even though this season gave birth to a lot of classic moments, I don't remember. You're right. I don't remember seeing a lot of these episodes on repeat, aside from maybe a couple.
Yeah, the last three though, I remember seeing regularly on a regular basis.
And that's what I was going to bring up. It feels like the last three and the first couple got replayed because I remember the Mac and Dennis Manhunters and of course the Gang Solves the Gas Crisis. I remember those really well, and then that little bit of gap in the middle just doesn't feel as familiar.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if the D being hospitalized one was close to because I remember around this same time a lot of FX shows got affected by the writer's strike.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if this was a weird episode they did during the writer's strike or not. I can't. It's
a good point to bring up though.
Do what?
What's the year?
This would have been
2008.
08.
Yeah, there was a writer's strike in 2008.
Yeah. Because I remember Rescue Me got affected by that a good bit, and there was like a weird gap of shows.
No, but the next one is very memorable because it's like the first episode where the gang it gives a fantasy sequence where like everybody in the cast plays like gives it a timepiece, kind of like what Simpsons would do every now and then, or what a series, if a series goes on for a certain amount of time, you get to kind of like what Archer did too with their fantasy seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yep. With this one attempting to turn Patty's into a Philadelphia landmark, the gang tells how Patty's Pub was historically relevant during the Revolutionary War.
They're trying to pitch the idea of how Patty's Pub is responsible for the crack in the Liberty Bell to a historian.
And what was Charlie's version of that?
I think they all kind of collectively. There is a part where like I think Charlie tries to begin to tell a story, and Dennis is just like, "Let me tell a story, Charlie. You're fucking it up."
Okay, because I remember there was a moment where it's like it felt like everyone was kind of on point, but then like Charlie was trying to tell his side, and they're just like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, basically. So then it's like, Charlie, you're terrible at this. You're terrible. Let me explain. And then I think D plays a winch, of course.
Yes.
And then Dennis plays like an English loyalist, or like he plays an American loyalist for the Revolutionary War.
Specifics of it.
And then Mac plays one of the actual bartenders at that the Revolutionary War version of Patty's, and he wants to join the Loyalists to fight the Americans during the Revolutionary War because they're like, well, so of course the Americans are going to lose. We need to fight with the British, and it's that whole thing.
Of course he would.
Yeah, exactly. And Frank and Charlie are like, are what are those characters that you see in in Renaissance fairs where you're throwing fruit at them and things like that.
Peasants.
Yeah, they're peasants. Yeah, they're acting as peasants throughout the whole thing too.
Wouldn't that be about the right term to use there, Chris?
No.
Well,
you talking about people who are throwing fruit and vegetables?
Yeah, talking about
the people, the people.
Yeah,
the citizens.
No, the people in the stocks.
Yeah,
prisoners.
I don't think they were prisoners. I think they were walking around. They were thieves. They were kind of like they were kind of like peasantly. Yeah, they're Cretans, essentially, basically the same characters that they are in present day, but like Revolutionary War times.
Yeah,
and then the Revolutionary
peasants
War
in the United States. It wasn't a fiefdom. Like it's citizens.
Right.
Hey, I was rolling with them. I was agreeing with peasants.
Cretan, I guess, would be the best word.
Yeah, they were basically like the same deal that they are in in the present day.
You could call them that today.
Hell, they probably called them peasants in the episode.
That's probably what happened. But no, and then
Yeah, leave it to Always Study to get their fiction right. Or their
Right.
historical
Well, again,
fiction right.
Well, again, this is Dennis and Mac and Charlie telling the story too.
And then
surprised-
Cap
I'm
and
surprised
Alex
Stallone-
trying to remember it.
I'm surprised Mac Teller didn't show like Stallone showing up like using an
With a
M60
fucking
killer.
yeah, exactly, as Rambo or some shit.
Get some, get some.
Get some.
And then Cricket shows up as a colonial like millionaire and tries to sweep D off her feet.
Yeah.
Or like D wants to
Sweet.
Yeah, and I think that, and they wind up crippling that version of Cricket too.
Why not?
Well, it's because every time Cricket shows up, he gets worse and worse off.
Well, he had that whole drumming career. Remember when we bought them drums?
Yes. I got these barrels. What'd you do with all our money? I got these barrels.
I
I love you, D.
I know it was from the previous season, but that's still one of the best ones. They were like, who fucked my wife? And it's like, it all point right over at him.
Yeah. And then it becomes like the story just devolves. Like D becomes like a witch and flies off, and eventually the
Of
historian
course, they
just,
think witches exist.
exactly, and then the historian just like kicks them all out of her office at the end.
And
That
again,
would be like if your job was to study history, and 3 fucking imbeciles just walk in and start telling you what history happened. I could imagine the mini stroke you would have
Right.
while listening to their stupid fucking tale,
And how often that must happen too.
especially today in Texas.
good old Texas guy. Keep the Texas theme going.
Yeah.
You need to teach opposing themes to the Holocaust. Yeah, fucking,
Yeah, that story's fucking wild.
Yeah. And honestly, the first person that ran across my feed that I saw it from was Paul Stanley. Paul retweeted it going, "This is some fucking garbage." And I'm just like, yeah, I'm spoken.
Those
Yeah.
Jewish fellas from New York.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, tell it, Paul, get it. you know.
Are you guys going to stop playing in Texas now?
Texas is the reason that kids can't play there anymore.
And I wouldn't also say one of favorites, but one of them that also has a lot of good memories in my head is the next one. Is
fucking
the Gang Gets Extreme Home Makeover Edition.
I'm surprised I didn't pull this one.
Yes. Believing that selfless acts will lead to good karma, the gang set out to renovate a poor family's home a la Extreme Makeover Home Edition, but Charlie and Dennis end up destroying the
destroy the
entire
fucking
building, trying to demolish a wall with a propane torch.
This is for your own good. We're helping you.
And Dee and Mac hold a family captive while trying to install, quote, American values in them despite a poor grasp of the Spanish language. So yes, it's a Spanish homeowners, and they're trying to like install all this like American tradition and shit, and they're like completely destroying this poor family's house. And it's like, and again, it's all set in the house.
Yes.
It's another one of those self-contained small episodes, and I feel that's really where the writing shines on these, where it's just they are put in this little scenario, this little box, and given a whole bunch of crack, and they're like, go.
And their whole thing in the whole episode is like, this is not how they do it on Extreme Makeover. We got to do it like how they do it on Extreme Makeover.
Yeah. It's like, we gotta make it big, we gotta make it crazy.
And like one of the cast members or somebody in the group, I think it's D, tries to do bullshit Spanish with the group too. And it's just not getting over. Just like, I know Spanish, and it's like 3 phrases.
And of course, and again, I remember Charlie in this episode. I'm trying to remember some of his lines on that one because he had some good ones. Because he of the entire group looked the most ready for the job. Like he had the fucking bandana on, the tool belt, the fucking work shirt, and I don't know. I just remember there being a scene where he just completely fucked something up, but for some reason I've just not been able to pull it. Even though I remember this episode a little better than the others.
Even when the gang has good intentions, but it's all for them. It's all selfish.
Well, I was
because
gonna say,
they're trying to
what are
build
good
karma.
intentions?
We want to get this karma for ourselves. Let's help people because we're good people, quote unquote.
Quick question:
right?
do y'all believe in that?
In karma? It's hard. It's a good question. It's a good question.
Of course, it's a good question. I asked it.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about you?
You put good vibes out there, you get good
I was
vibes.
gonna say that you did not answer the question.
I believe in karma.
I would say I do to an extent. I just wouldn't call it karma.
More of like a good vibe. It's answered with good vibes.
Even that feels a little hippy dippy bullshit. I honestly just believe what you put in, you get out. So it's like if you treat people like shit, you're gonna get treated like shit back. So that you can call it karma. For me, I just call it being a good person and just treat other people the way you'd want to be treated.
Exactly, just that golden rule.
Yeah, which is why I call people on their bullshit, because I expect them to do the same with me.
Yeah. But no, that's of course it all like.
What about you
falls
though, Chris?
apart.
No, the world is chaotic. We're all.
I knew he was setting this up. That's why I had that word.
No, the world is chaotic and we're on a train to hell. So,
Whoa, the wicked world.
praise the Lord while you can and pass the ammunition.
There is no good or bad. The world is gray.
I'm a dog. The world is gray.
R.I.P. DMX.
The DMX starts playing. The whole episode just stops and we just end it with DMX. X will give it to you.
But we have like the best conclusion of probably like any season in the series.
Honestly, yeah. Probably one of the most definitive things. Like when someone starts quoting Always Sunny.
This is the one. This is probably the top most quoted.
Absolutely. The night man cometh.
And it kind of highlights how creative this cast is too.
Yes.
Well, it's the C story.
Yeah.
You know, we get the we get the A story, we get the B story, but they have somehow created a C story that lives on for quite a while. This is what they always come back to this, and it's, you know, just like Wild Card or something. They're able to create a C plot that we can pull from constantly that still affects the A and B, which I think is very impressive, you know, just for the writing. But there's only a handful of shows that still do that, and I will say I don't think there's a comedy sitcom on that matches that, because it's, you know, this is what I consider one of the best sitcoms ever, because small location, tight writing, tight character development, and the ability to bring that C plot in whenever you want to, just to fuck with fans.
Yeah, because
that's the fan service. The C plot is the fan service,
But it's also around a theme that is constant throughout the entire series, and which is Charlie trying to impress the waitress.
yeah.
But even talking about the C plot, they've turned this C plot into an A plot by referencing another A plot, because the musical is based on the song based on his song from Sweet D's Dating a Retarded Person.
Yes.
So it's like they even call back to that old thing, and that's where they create the big fucking
musical
really out of the whole thing, just for the waitress. And the production of it is so great. And
Mac with his fucking like black eyeshadow.
Yes. Trying to look badass like he always does.
Looking like a David Bowie fan in the crowd.
Right. He comes like, look how scary I'm going to be. I'm going to be terrifying. Meanwhile,
Frank, though.
Oh, God.
Frank is the MVP of this episode.
the troll. You got to pay the troll toll.
To get to that boy's hole.
Are you saying it's boy's soul,
Yeah,
Frank?
boy's hole.
No.
That is seriously one of my favorites.
This is like the only time in this. It happens multiple times in the series where you can use the term accidental pedophile with the cast, because that's what they are, accidental pedophile. Especially going back to like the high school drinking one.
Yes.
And it's just like they're trying to hook up with underage kids, and I'm just like, yep, that's the best way to describe that. Accidental pedophile.
And that's kind of like what Dee's character in the play is too, where like and then she's like trying to fight it the whole time, or like Dee's like trying to she's falling in love with a tiny boy.
Yeah,
the young
tiny boy, little boy.
She's like, Charlie, I don't want to give the impression that I'm in love with little boys. It's like, no, you're not. The character is. And she takes it as far as getting on stage after she does her number, going like, by the way, I'm not into little boys. Some men see me as an 8 or a 9 out of 10, and let's meet up after the show.
Yeah.
And actually, fun little fact on this. In September 2009, the cast took the show live, and the gang performed the musical The Night Man Cometh in New York, Boston, Seattle, San Francisco, LA, and Philadelphia. And everyone came back and reprised their roles and did like actual full stage setup for The Night Man Cometh.
I've seen videos of this on YouTube, and the production, they put a little production value in it, and they play at places like the Troubadour in Los Angeles, and they're like treating it like it's a series serious, big production and everything. And at the very end, where Charlie comes down in the yellow suit and the top hat, singing the closing number. He gets a harmonica out and just starts doing like some fucking Howlin' Wolf fucking like badass harmonica solo.
Yes.
It's like Charlie Day is like sneakily the most talented member of this fucking group.
Well, think about this is what, season 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Think about it. You've made a show. You made a pilot, won a contest. You successfully had 1 year, and then I would count Danny DeVito as an A-list actor.
Absolutely.
To join your sitcom, stay on it, and in 4 years, you're now traveling across the nation playing a throwaway bit
Yeah.
for fans. Can you imagine the mindset that creates for these guys? It's like, holy shit, we've made it.
Yeah.
And they're still going. That's what's impressive about this show.
And this is kind of like the season where like Always Sunny in Philadelphia just becomes part of the pop that's just cemented in pop culture, basically forever. Yeah. At least for the time period.
And you know what? I don't think anyone could say that better, because to exactly work off what Chris was saying, those first 3 seasons proved the concept. Each one got better and better and better. This season 4 was almost the make or break season, because they had so much gumming up to it that if this season had flopped, if this had been a garbage season, they probably would have not still been doing it today. But they kept that writing up. They kept it pushing, kept out the quality, and basically went, y'all ain't ready. We still got another 10 plus years ahead of us of this shit. Get ready.
It just shows that they love what they're doing too.
And you know what? And I think that's what's missing from a lot of art in general, is that people used to just enjoy what they did. And I think that shines through on this sitcom. It shines through on the podcasts we enjoy. It shows through on the music we enjoy. Any art that you can tell the creative person making it is enjoying making it, it shines through. And it really feels like when you watch a show like Always Sunny, there's not just a difference because, funny, writers, but the detail they put into that writing.
It's we're going to get real introspective here, but the problem with creatives sometimes is that they'll get into a rhythm with their work and get so embedded in it that it almost becomes their job, and that takes the joy away from it. You don't get that from this cast, not at this point at least.
Well, Glenn Howerton, Dennis, he ran into that a few years ago because, spoiler alerts, he actually dropped off for a season.
Yeah.
Where he moved away, quote unquote, and did something else. But so he actually did get the burnout where he kept writing in the background, but he didn't want to be in front of the camera for a little bit, and then eventually the character has come back now. But still, there was a bit where he was gone.
I think in entertainment in general is the last art form, and we got content,
and it's also the least respected.
Yeah,
and that's what's crazy.
Well, here's the thing: like, you guys are musicians, which takes talent. Not saying anyone else doesn't have a talent, but that takes a specific talent that you have to hone. You do that with your students. All right, and you do that with a band in general.
Yeah.
You guys, you have to write the song, you have to get the beat right, you have to get everything right to make it sound good. Like you showed me Kiss's demo shit. Holy shit, so much different from its other stuff.
Yeah,
but that changed a long time ago because entertainment was right up there with every other job.
Yep.
Because every other job was an art form.
Yeah.
Welding, carpentry, vocation of any kind. Anything you did in this country was an art form.
Yes, and you took pride in it.
But they took away the art part of it. That's why it's not vocational arts. Now it's just vocation.
Yep. Yeah.
But
or extracurricular.
Yeah, extracurricular. It's no longer a mainstay. And I think when it comes to this and any other art form, like in entertainment, movies, shows, music, you can see it very clearly when people enjoy what they're doing, because it makes the show or movie or performance more dynamic. Like Snowfall,
Absolutely.
You can tell those guys fucking love selling crack in imaginary world.
They love their roles. They believe in the storytelling.
Well, it's kind of like when wrestlers play heels. They enjoy playing the heels a lot more because they get to express themselves a little bit more.
Have you seen the preview for that movie Heels?
Not yet. With Stephen Amell.
We'll watch that after this wraps up here.
Like it's you're right. It is does show through, because these people aren't legacy fucking actors who came out of fucking Hollywood.
They will be now.
Yeah. But you know, they came out of Philly.
Yeah.
They're just some comedians that got together, just like us. We got together to do this.
Yep. There is no difference between them and us, other than they just decided to make a TV show and submitted it.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
They got that. They hit that extra step.
Yep.
And then they took off running.
Yeah. You
and
put
that
in the
happens.
work.
I think that happens with every entertainer. Mm-hmm. You know, I've seen guys have bands after band after band until they get that right fit, and then they're out. They're gone. And I understand that it can be a burnout. You know, Bo Burnham. Mm-hmm. He burned out for a little while and came back. We've seen actresses do that. Elizabeth Shue, she quit acting for a long time doing that. But I could see where you're coming from when you're talking about how with the art form becomes a job and becomes monotonous. And I could see that dragging a show down. Somehow they've done it. Somehow they've beat it.
And you know what?
And I think it's because they are able to go out to extra stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, but I was really able to get the vibe that the three guys were friends to start with.
Yeah.
And then they created the show, and of course probably made super dramatized versions of, you know, situations they had been in. So that kind of gave it a little bit of genuineness. Plus, I mean, hell, it would be like if you gave me, Cap, and Mikey a show. You know, we've been friends for so long. We understand each other's rhythms and beats. We could probably do our own version, our own jokes version, you know, of a show like that. So I think it also just comes into, it's such a genuine connection between these actors and these comedians that you can't help but project yourself sometimes on the funnier moments going, oh God, I could see, you know, me and Mikey getting into some of that bullshit, or, you know, God, I could see Chris doing something like that, you know, just because it gives it that bit of groundedness.
Yeah, there's also that see it, be it kind of thing. Like, okay, these guys, you know, as gratuitous as with the stuff they do, it's just like, I got a buddy who would do something stupid like that. I got a buddy who would go blackface and sell gasoline.
I think everybody, particularly in Philadelphia, would have like somebody.
Because it's very relatable to them, because it's still shot on location.
Exactly,
and I'm pretty sure they only film within a 6 blocks radius.
Right.
It seems like they're very close.
And we've talked with.
I've only seen them in a park once.
Right. I've talked with folks that are from Philadelphia that, you know, I'll ask them about Always Sunny, and they're just like, that's not a comedy, that's a documentary.
Yeah.
But no, I think this season just goes to show, though, that Always Sunny is here to stay, and it only is going to keep going up from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since there are so many seasons, I look forward to seeing kind of where it, if it dips, you know, of course, there's a few seasons I'm behind on, like particularly the one where Dennis is out.
Yeah.
So I got to catch up on that. I watched a movie the other day that he was in called The Strangers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was good. And then like you were talking about them being able to branch off and do other stuff. Some of my favorite comedies to come out maybe the last 10 years was a movie and its sequel that featured Charlie Day, and it was Horrible Bosses.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best comedies to have come out in the last good handful of years.
In Pacific Rim.
Yeah, it was.
I'd argue that outside of Danny DeVito, Charlie Day is the biggest star of that cast.
Yeah, and Sweet Dee, she had her own show.
Was it the Mick?
The Mick.
Yeah, the Mick.
Yeah.
And now Charlie Day is going to be Luigi.
I can't wait.
And the thing is like...
Charlie Day is Luigi. I'm just picturing Luigi, like, just having a map of every...
Oh, I posted that in the Discord. Did you see that?
No, but that's what I imagine. Just red strings all leading to Peach and Bowser, and he's like, they're having a fucking affair.
No, I gotta show you this video where they perfectly matched up that scene with CGI Luigi and Mario.
But no, I would love them to bring like just a little Easter egg of Always Sunny.
Oh, I know that there's going to be some scene where Luigi has to freak out, and we're going to get the Charlie Day voice. So I know we're going to get a moment.
Or just Luigi just losing his shit and going, wild card.
Yeah. No fucking doubt.
Yes. Oh, man. But this has been another great episode of the Couch Bro-Tatoes Wildcard Edition. Wildcard Edition. But for this episode, I've been Alex.
This is Cap.
And Chris, do you have any sort of final thoughts for us?
If you're out there working, treat it like an art form, and it's no longer at work.
Yeah.
Period. Be proud of what you do. Take pride in it. It is a sin. It's a good sin, though. It's a fun sin.
All the good ones are.
Like a handy.
Good old fashioned.
An old fashioned. Nothing like an old fashioned.
Oh.